when you talk about Vegas, the Raiders, it all makes sense. The only thing that's missing there last night were the fans, right? If that would have been like the perfect Monday night situation, if the fans were in the stands going nuts, the strip was going crazy, the Raiders pull that win off, people miss work again today, fly in late tonight, tomorrow morning to get back to their jobs. When you talk about Raider football, it's one of those deals where growing up in Los Angeles, being able to watch from the West Coast, the Raiders in L.A. as well as the Raiders in Oakland, the fans in the black hole was part of it. That was missing last night. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it was a perfect game.
Interesting, though, that we're week 2 of football. Basketball has been going on for a while in the bubble. Same with MLS to a degree. And that was the game last night with the Oakland Raiders. I mean, that's high stakes for the Oakland Raider fans, right? That was the first time that we're sitting there. Because I kind of felt the same way as you, Key, watching that game. The environment seemed like I was envisioning it in my own mind, closing my eyes, that it would be so different if you actually had the black hole there.
It would have been different in just looking at and understanding what the Raiders did for so long trying to get a new stadium. I mean, they tried in Oakland for many years. They almost came back to L.A. You know, I thought they were going to be back in L.A. and it would have been the Rams and the Raiders opposed to the Chargers. That didn't work out. They struck a deal with Vegas, got that deal done, and the fans, they were against it a little bit. But I think, Vegas, the Raider fans from Oakland and L.A., easy flight on Southwest, coming in from all over the place. Raiders that's a huge, huge brand. And then to display a win on national TV against New Orleans that was down. Michael Thomas and Drew Brees was trying to do whatever he could do to keep them alive, but it did not work. Speaks volumes in front of our eyes. To be able to see the Raiders climbing back, if it's like the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Giants, Green Bay, New England, when those teams are good, the NFL, Pittsburgh, the NFL is big.
I'll tell you one thing, too. My dad's initials are DW. And last night, walking away from that game, I'm like, yeah, Darren Waller. I know Key's been talking about you, but yeah, I see you all 6'6", 240 pounds a year, just operating. The versatility, Key, that he had, that they can use him, it was just, it was a thing of beauty watching him play.
John made some comments along the way, and it made it seem as though Derek Carr wasn't worthy of being the Raiders quarterback.
But Derek Carr also had time to throw the ball. I know we're going to be talking about Carson Wentz, and you talk about their O-line being, depleted. How about this stat? The Raiders have far and away the most cap money sunk into their offensive line. They're built from the team that's from front to back. Nearly $57 million they're paying their linemen this year is $8 million more than the next most. Well, $8 million more. So as a Giants fan, I'm like, let's just build from the front back. I see the way that John Gruden and this company does it. How come other teams can't do it that way?
Well, other teams do it that way. They spend money on
They spend money,
line,
but not the right money.
But you got to find the right players, and you got to have the right coach to coach them up. One of the things that John Gruden was able to do is bring back Tom Cable as his offensive line coach. And Tom Cable's a pretty good offensive line coach, former head coach of the Raiders. Remember that when he did the little sucker punch to the assistant coach. It's just one of those deals where when you have a great offensive line coach, your offensive line is going to be dominant across the board. And Jeff Saturday can speak to that, as well as Damon Woody can speak to that. They've had great offensive line coaches in their careers, and the offensive line has always been stout. It gives Derek Carr the opportunity to deliver the football in sync to a Henry Ruggs or a Nelson Aguilar or even Jacobs out of the backfield or Waller, any of these guys, or Renfro, any of these guys that they have that they need to distribute the ball to, it gives them that time. So therefore, the quarterback has the confidence. When you're talking about other teams like a Carson Wentz staring down the gun barrel, spooked because he knows that any minute he could get hit, or Daniel Jones at any minute you can get hit, or Saquon Barkley in the backfield with the offensive lineman sitting in his lap because they're being pushed. So when you have an offensive line that you pay a lot of money to, you also got to have a coach that can coach him up.
It just also felt like Drew Brees and company. Well, Drew Brees didn't find his rhythm, but mostly due to the fact that the time they spent off the field due to the way John Gruden and this team plays. Just pounding the ball, one possession after a time, and just working the ball down the field.
Well, I think look, all the way around, it was a good game. Drew Brees significantly, and this is not just because it's my nephew, but it is at the same time because, missed Michael Thomas. I keep forgetting can't say Mikey.
He's a grown man now, yes.
He's still Mikey.
He's still Mikey.
when you look at some of the balls that Drew threw in the area of the wide receivers, it's about the catch radius. And when you had guys like Marcus Colston for so many years, catch radius, or you had Jimmy Graham for years, catch radius. Now you have Michael Thomas, huge catch radius. It makes the quarterback look even better than what he is. And now Drew Brees, Hall of Fame, looks great, was great regardless. But when you add that other level of wide receiver, those passes that you look at and you go, wow, that was a great throw. Not necessarily the receiver made that catch. Some things when you look last night, I was in particular looking at one where he tried to zip it into Emmanuel Sanders and it got away. And the first thing I said was, that's an easy catch for Mikey. That's routine because of the catch radius.
One thing we should quickly mention, just with Carr and Gruden, it was a great story that made a lot of people chuckle, but I think Derek Carr took it seriously. When John Gruden moved to Las Vegas, knowing the organization was going to move there, he bought a huge plot of land. And you know who bought the lot right next to him?
Carr.
Derek Carr. Because Derek Carr said, we're going to be tied at the hip. I know you're always looking to upgrade at the quarterback position. You're always pushing your QBs like Key said, but I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be with you.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.